Since 1911, the Pierre Parts Store has been your one-stop shop. Family owned and operated for 4 generations, the Pierre Parts Store has served the community by providing groceries, hardware, home products, and much more, including a full-service lumber yard. Now, we've added the Thibodaux store to the family with the same values and service we've delivered for over 100 years. The Pierre Parts Store and the Thibodaux store, our family serving your family.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us, however you may be joining us. We appreciate it very, very much. And listen, there are certain programs in our community that are just vital. They're vital to the health and care of our kids, but more importantly, they need your help. And so right now, this is a shout out for people who are wanting to do something, but not really sure what to do. I can tell you CASA is the way to go. As welcome back to the program, Christine O'Quinn. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. Of course, Executive Director and the Outreach and Training Coordinator, Maria. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So people I don't think always understand the need. I don't know that people always understand CASA. Christine, just let people know what CASA is and what it stands for.
Okay, so CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocates. And
Right.
so what we do, we have a paid staff of 6, and we have volunteers, which number 46 active at the moment. And what we do as a staff is we train and support these advocates, volunteers, and what they do is they advocate for kids in foster care. So if kids come into foster care, and we train them, and they're assigned to a case. And so they follow this child or the children that are in the case from the time that they accept the case until they are no longer in state's custody, whatever that permanency looks like.
Right. So they're no longer in the foster system.
Yeah, they're no longer in state's custody.
Right.
Yeah.
And very often they still follow because they follow as friends.
Yes.
Thereafter, because it made such a huge impact. Right?
Yes, that's right. The volunteers, that they form relationships with these
Right.
children and give them kind of making sure that while they're in state's custody, their needs are being met, just like if they would be in a loving and
Right.
and thriving home.
Right.
That the resources that if resources are needed, they're going to
Right.
fight for those resources. The DCFS gives them a case plan. They have to follow that case plan.
Right.
If that case plan being followed, the volunteers are going to follow that case and follow that child.
Right.
Currently, we are serving 70 children in Terrebonne Parish that are in foster care, 46 volunteers. But the wait list is what the graphic you need to look at, because there are 196 children that do not have the benefit of a CASA. We are serving only 36% of the children in foster care, and we want that number to go way up. We see the difference that a volunteer makes in the life of a child whenever they're following that child through foster care. We see it at the younger, from infancy all the way to they age out at 18. We see the difference that a CASA makes in the life of these children.
Well, and clearly the need is there. And so for you guys, y'all are responsible for training and resources, right? And just making sure that you're helping people and doing the outreach for them, right?
Correct. So we have our next training class that's going to be starting July 16th. It's 30 hours. We meet for 5 consecutive Tuesdays, and from 5:30 to 8:45, we give you all the information on how to advocate for these children. So if July is not a good day for you, we do have an October one.
Right. And again, the one thing, as both of them have just mentioned, is the importance of what you can do to help a child. And this is a child in a situation that they didn't ask for, in a situation that they find themselves needing help, and CASA volunteers make a huge difference. And so I am challenging anyone and everyone who can to do this. Someone was telling me they trained some 4 to 6 people. We need to make that 8 to 10 in every training session. There are almost 200 kids whom we haven't even identified the need to be able to connect someone with because we don't have it. So it's really, really important for us to be able to do this and help these kids because, again, by no fault of their own are they in this system.
Exactly.
And we can make a difference.
Yes.
Everybody can make a difference. And so the training is only 30 hours, right? And you guys do that over how many weeks?
5 weeks. 5 consecutive weeks.
So 5 consecutive weeks of 6 hours, being able to be a trained CASA volunteer. And it makes a huge difference. You can apply online. You can go to www.casaofterrebonne.org, or you can call 985-876-0250. They're located at 402 Canal Street. And the mission is to be a voice for children in foster care by advocating independently and objectively in the courts for their best interests. And so, again, it's important to be able to do that. Put the other information up there, Aaron, if you don't mind, about reaching out. You can contact them. I just gave you all of that information. This is how you can reach out. You can ask for Christine or Selma or any of the other 4 that are in and out there at CASA of Terrebonne. But it's just, if you want to feel good about what you're doing, if you feel a calling to help, this is the way to do it. Again, the number, 876-0250. They're at 402 Canal Street, right here downtown Houma, easily accessible. If you have any questions, please call them. Or just if you're at night not knowing what to do and you can't sleep, go to www.casaofterrebonne.org. And I'm hoping that your heartstrings get pulled a little bit so that you'll do this. So some final thoughts, Christine.
I think I will just join you in that challenge because it sounds overwhelming, but we are with you every step of the way. We follow you along. You have a supervisor. Our volunteers come from all walks of life.
Right.
They're young, they're old, and everybody in between. You don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to have any special training. You have to have a heart for children and just loving them and just loving on them. It makes a difference.
And they have the need and the need for support, but you guys provide the support to the volunteers.
Exactly.
In addition to the 30 hours of training, y'all walk with them every step of the way. Thank you guys for being here, and I'm hoping a lot of people called while we were on air and afterwards as well. All right, thank you both. All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment, but don't go anywhere. A whole lot more Bayou time when we continue.